staying weather aware and prepared to respond. I'm Jalissa Garza with a closer look at how MEMS is doing just that coming up.
And we're tracking the possibility of more severe weather in Arkansas tonight.
Cleanup continues here in Sherwood. This is one of the many homes damaged by the tornado. I'm Brooke Buckner with how this homeowner is trying to move forward.
Recovery efforts continue. I'm Frederick Price with a national religious group here in Arkansas pitching in to help.
As we come on the air tonight, a new round of storms is in the forecast. Thank you for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Faith Woodard.
And I'm Rolly Hoyt. We continue to cover recovery efforts across the natural state while looking ahead to those storms.
Our team of journalists are across Central Arkansas for you tonight, bringing you firsthand information on continued cleanup efforts and help available for those affected by Friday's storms.
But first, we want to begin right here in the studio with Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannan. We've been hearing warnings about what's coming tonight and in the morning.
Yeah, what's coming tonight, what's coming in the morning? That is the good question, or the question to ask. We are still expecting storms to develop tonight. There will be one or two. The question is when they develop. So it's a good idea to make sure, if you're going to bed tonight, to have a way to receive severe weather information in case these storms do get nasty. And there is what's called a lid or a cap on the atmosphere, so that's keeping everything pretty calm right now. That could bust, and when that cap busts, thunderstorms are expected to develop. And right now, the most likely area, the area in red with a moderate risk of severe weather from Mena to Hot Springs, Russellville up to Harrison, and even Mountain Home, that's the highest level of risk. But really, the entire state, Central Arkansas and Eastern Arkansas, will have a risk of severe weather. And even into tomorrow, this system looks like it's going to slow down a little and take its time moving through. The tornado risk is there. Hail, damaging wind as well. And where you see the hatched area, significant severe weather, and that's defined as an EF2 or greater tornado possibility. But again, it's not going to be like last Friday where we had a few storms that we were watching. Maybe one cell or two cells, and right now they're trying to come together in northwest Arkansas with just a few sprinkles elsewhere. The other thing, well, we got hot today. Temperatures managed the upper 80s. It felt a lot like summer. 89 was the high in Little Rock, and that ties a record. We'll go through the timing of when we expect those storms here in Central Arkansas. It looks like it's going to be tomorrow morning, but don't let your guard down, folks. We'll do that in just a few moments.
Tom, thank you. Recovery efforts continue after Friday's tornado. Crews working hard to make roads drivable again. And when we hear a forecast like what Tom just shared with us, now first responders want to make sure they can get to where they're needed. Now, THV11's Jalissa Garza spoke with responders today. Jalissa, what are they doing to prepare?
Well, Faith, Rolly, when I spoke with MEMS, they told me that Friday they received 58 tornado-related phone calls and made 26 hospital transports. The biggest challenge for them, they say, was getting through roads that were covered in debris like the one behind me. You can still see some of that debris is there. The road here is drivable again. But again, that was the hardest thing for them. But they tell me tonight they're ready to be back in action.
In preparation for Friday, just like we have today, we go to yellow status.
Just days after a tornado made its way through Central Arkansas, MEMS is in preparation mode.
We put all of our employees on alert that there is severe weather that is potentially moving into our service area.
Roads across Pulaski County looked like this, which made things a bit challenging when it came to responding to calls.
Getting access to some of the neighborhoods is always a struggle after an event such as this, just because of the debris.
But Operations Director Chris Marshall says that debris didn't stop them from getting to Arkansans in need of help.
We did have some crews that did have to hike in to check on patients with the fire departments that were with them as well.
Luckily, roads are starting to clear up, which helps when it comes to their efforts in bracing for whatever may come.
We prepare equipment, make sure that all the ambulances are mechanically sound, check chainsaws, things of that nature that would help gain access to areas that may be affected by a tornado. And when it's time, when the call comes in, we will be there.
Now, we know Arkansans have worked tirelessly the past few days, making roads drivable again, rebuilding our community. Again, this road right here that I'm on, we were able to drive through with no problem. You can see all the debris has been pushed to the sides. That's just a testament of our community, how strong our community is. But a reminder from first responders tonight, if you can stay home and stay off the roads, that will help them get to those who need help. And if there is debris in your area, when you make a call, if you make a call and need help, make sure you say where you are and let them know what that debris looks like on your road. For now, reporting in West Little Rock, Julissa Garza, THV11 News.
Julissa, thank you. And speaking of keeping people informed, utility companies are asking you to keep them in the loop. Entergy specifically requesting customers without power to call them and flag their accounts so you won't get billed. If you've got questions about your bill or utilities in Little Rock, Entergy has a table set up at the Emmanuel Baptist Community Center on Shackelford Road. It's open until 7 tonight. And for people out in Cross County, Entergy has a crew at the Technology Center on Falls Boulevard. That's until 6 tonight.
Now to Sherwood, where the community is coming together to clean up the damage left behind by Friday's tornadoes.
And THV11's Brooke Buckner was there immediately after the storm on Friday when it ripped through. Tonight she's back there to show us how one neighbor is facing a difficult process.
Brooke, what do you have for us tonight?
Yeah, Rolly and Faith, I'm back at this house that I came to Friday afternoon after the tornado ripped through. And on Friday, I spoke with the homeowner who walked me through her house to the backyard where I am now. And it's a different story today. Now she can't even open her front door to get inside her house because the roof is caving in, creating piles of rubble, making it really hard for her to save the rest of her belongings.
I really appreciate everybody's support and everybody, trying to help me to go through this.
Gwen Johnson is trying to find her new normal after Friday's tornado ripped through her neighborhood and her house, tearing off part of her roof.
Since Friday and we had the rain, now the inside of the house is falling down inside. The ceilings are all coming down,
making it much harder to get inside to save her year's worth of memories.
I can't even take my pictures down that I have because I have all the grandkids and I can't get in there to take their pictures down.
Johnson says the community's help is what's getting her through this difficult time.
But people have came by, brought us lunch, brought us dinners, given money. And I from my heart, I really appreciate everybody's support.
She and her family are staying in a hotel now, frequently checking on the house.
We have something over our head, and so we're grateful for that. And we're just taking it every day at a time because that's the only thing I know how to do.
She plans to talk to her insurance company tomorrow and will know more then about how to move forward.
I understand there's other people that are going through this. So for those that are going through this, like me, you're gonna probably have to break down and then just gather back your strength because this is just material.
So obviously she has a lot of cleaning up to do and a lot of damage of her own, but if you take a look behind me in the corner of her backyard, this is part of her neighbor's roof that blew into her yard because that's just how strong this storm was. But as she just said a moment ago, she's not alone in this recovery process. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers have offered support and offered to help her out, and that just comes to show how strong and kind Arkansans are during difficult times like these, and I just gotta say it's a truly inspiring thing to see out here. Reporting in Sherwood, Brooke Buckner, THV11 News.
Brooke, thank you. Jacksonville also making progress. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders volunteering this afternoon at First Baptist Church. She echoed the message agencies across the state are emphasizing tonight. Stay weather aware by connecting with local authorities.
With that in mind, state and city leaders working to keep everybody informed. Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. will join us tonight here on 6:30 Central. That is just a little more than an hour away.
Now, as the recovery process continues, we're seeing more and more people and groups stepping up to help.
Frederick Price continuing our team coverage tonight live in Little Rock with how groups are really coming together to speed up this rebuilding process and provide things for families. Frederick.
Yeah, guys, more than 500 families have come through this line here at Emmanuel Baptist Church getting clothes, toiletries, food, anything that they need. We talked to two religious groups who are doing just that. They're really trying to help the community out. We were with them earlier today as they went to a neighborhood that is about a mile or so from this church that is heavily impacted because of that tornado, and they are quite literally meeting people where they're at.
People are hurting, and we're trying to respond with love to the troubles that they're having.
That's honestly one of the many things Yolanda Spencer says she and her family needs right now.
Even just saying, hey, how can we help means a lot to us.
That devastating tornado left debris in her yard and damaged her home. I asked her how she's doing days after the storm. She's physically well, but still shaken up.
And they're here to help.
Tuesday, a group of religious volunteers from Southern Baptist Disaster Relief and Send Relief stood with Yolanda in her yard and prayed.
And because you got things for her to do.
So many volunteers are trained from churches all throughout the nation. They often descend on a big storm like this.
Their first stop Tuesday was the Emmanuel Baptist Church City Center in Little Rock.
And those recovery efforts go beyond the church. About 150 Southern Baptist Disaster Relief volunteers are in neighborhoods like this in Central Arkansas and Wynne, just trying to help people move forward.
Bryant Wright is the president of Send Relief. He says the biggest need for these families right now is food. And there's still an abundance volunteers handed out Tuesday to families who need it.
These are volunteers that are trained to come into a crisis like this.
Bart Barber is a part of the Southern Baptist Convention because, according to him, their group is one of the largest disaster relief operations in the U.S. They're always planning before the storm hits.
They'll train on basics about what it means to be at a disaster and respond, but then they'll also train on a skill.
The people you see in the yellow shirts, volunteers not just handing out food and water, but cutting trees and literally being a helping hand.
Yeah, and about 13 volunteer teams from Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas hitting up areas here in Little Rock, North Little Rock, and Wynne, one of the hardest hit areas by this tornado. They mentioned preparedness. That is something that they do ahead of the storm, and of course their eyes are on the sky as another threat of severe weather is here in Arkansas. We're live tonight in Little Rock. Frederick Price, THV11 News.
Frederick, thank you. And if you want to get in that spirit, we've got an easy way for you to figure out how to do it. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 501-376-1111. We'll send a full list of things you can do to help those impacted.
Former President Donald Trump made history today, becoming the first former president in U.S. history to be charged with a crime. He faces 34 counts, all Class E felonies stemming from a hush money investigation. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts related to falsifying business records. The judge told Mr. Trump to refrain from posting anything on social media that could cause unrest. Trump's lawyers say they'll fight the prosecution in court. Once back in Florida, the former president plans to hold a rally with invited guests tonight at his Mar-a-Lago estate.
And I could just hear it in people's voices, what they've been through. This is a disaster.
Anxiety over what's coming tonight. We'll get advice from mental health experts on addressing the emotional damage when THV11 News at 5 continues.
Keeping a close eye on radar tonight. Showers and thunderstorms try to develop. We're keeping a particularly close eye here northwest and western Arkansas for the development of those big thunderstorms. I'll have details after the break.
All right, Tom, thank you. To make sure you're safe, prepared with all the up-to-date information as we're watching for potential severe weather, now is the perfect time to download the THV11 app, available for free on Google Play and the Apple Store.
Now, you might be a little triggered after that forecast, but pause for a moment to consider the fact that on Friday, a lot of us saw that tornado touch down in real time. Whether you were in the storm or near it, it's traumatic.
Now, you may be feeling mentally and physically drained, and now there's more severe weather ahead. So how do you prepare? THV11's Ian Russell reports.
When we think about Friday's storms and the devastation it left behind, it's okay to feel scared and it's okay to feel nervous about weather coming in Tuesday, but you've got to take care of yourself and you've got to get ready for more severe weather coming in tonight.
And I could just hear it in people's voices, what they've been through. This is a disaster.
Walking through the damage is a visual reminder for Molly Bloom.
Whether you were directly hit or not, this was a major traumatic event. And
while many have been hard at work cleaning up the physical and material wounds, Bloom is focusing on mental scars that severe weather can leave.
The downtown Little Rock area in Pulaski County. Tornado warning. We're going to update you on this.
Friday's storm.
Tornado, trees down along damaged homes.
Leaving behind more than debris.
Your nervous system, your body is doing what it's supposed to do when it's in danger.
Trauma, stress, the inability to function. Bloom, a licensed therapist, has heard from many in the path of the storm. They're not easy calls, but she says they're completely understandable. And now Bloom says she's expecting more.
What's going to happen? And I think there's just a lot of panic going on right now.
So how do you get ready? Preparedness weather-wise is important, but Bloom points to a couple simple but effective ways to help you mentally make sure you're okay.
This will affect you mentally, emotionally, and physically.
First, find something to comfort you as the storms pass. Animals, loved ones, something that calms you down. She also says it's okay to feel helpless. Just know that support is out there, and you should also talk it out, because you're not alone.
Where we need our community to wrap our arms around each other and realize, yeah, we've been hit, but we're going to become stronger from this. And I just see teams working like crazy to help our city get put back together.
In Little Rock, Ian Russell, THV11 News.
My family and I will never be able to thank them enough for that.
Incredible stories of heroism and community. The strangers that rode out the storm together in a Dunkin' Donuts when we come back. We continue to hear from our neighbors, friends, and family. Incredible stories of hope and recovery.
So as we work to document this historic event for Central Arkansas, we need your help. Pass along your stories that you believe should be shared, and you can do it by sending us a text to 501-376-1111.
Now, we've heard incredible stories highlighting the humanity on display during these times. Now, Katie Sanchez was on her way to pick up her kids from school when the storm hit. The school was on lockdown, so Katie searched for safety and found it in a Dunkin' Donuts.
I was locking the back door to get ready to go into the cooler. When I turned around and I seen the lady at the front door with sheer panic on her face. It was nothing but pure humanity. I don't know, it was God.
It was funny as she pulled me and she said, I might lose my job for this, but I saw that thing coming and I couldn't just leave you out here. And, you know, it was amazing.
Now, Dunkin' Donuts was moved by the team's courage and sent them a care package with $1,000 gift cards.
As a kid who grew up in New England, where Dunkin' Donuts came from, I can say that they've probably helped a few people along the lines that
Every day.
in a tough time. This one takes the cake.
I love that.
We'll be right back. We can't say it enough, getting updates on what we need to be aware of tonight.
Yeah, weather aware tonight. Make sure you have a lot of different ways to receive severe weather information. This is one of those nighttime potentials that we have. And at nighttime event, a lot of people go to sleep and they let their guard down. Western and northwestern Arkansas have the best likelihood right now of severe weather, but it could occur anywhere. We will keep you up to date and have another update here at 6.
All right, okay. Tom, thank you so much. Well, we will have more news and weather. You can definitely text GIVE to 501-376-1111 as ways that you can help people impacted by the tornadoes. More news and weather after the CBS Evening News.